Welcome to another custom deep dive. I am your host, and I'm ready to jump right in.
And I'm your resident hardware expert. Glad to be here.
So, picture this. You're sitting in a massive sports bar on a Sunday. There's a, tiring wall of screens in front of you, flawlessly displaying a dozen live games.
Oh, yeah, in perfect sync. Right.
Exactly. Or imagine you're in a federal control room, completely surrounded by monitors, tracking real-time satellite data.
Which is a totally different vibe, but sure.
Right. But in both of those places, you're just staring at the screens. You're completely ignoring the miles of staggering, invisible digital plumbing behind the drywall.
The plumbing that actually makes it all possible.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So today we have a custom deep dive built just for you, diving into a massive product catalog from HDTV Supply.
It is a staggering catalog, honestly.
It really is. And our mission today is to pull back the curtain on this hidden commercial audiovisual infrastructure, starting with one very specific, very critical item.
Right, the DVIGear 41-foot hyperlight HDMI cable.
Yeah.
And that cable is, well, it's the perfect starting point, I mean. The backbone of those massive displays isn't just standard wiring. It requires an entirely different class of technology.
Let's unpack why that is, because we aren't talking about the standard copper HDMI cord you'd use for a basic desktop monitor.
No, definitely not.
This DVIGear model is an AOC, so an active optical cable, running 12.5 meters.
So about 41 feet.
Yeah, 41 feet. And when you try to push a heavy, dense 4K video signal through 41 feet of traditional copper wire, it's like trying to run a marathon while breathing through a straw.
Right, the sheer amount of data just completely chokes.
It's a glitchy mess.
Yeah. The physical limitation there is just electrical resistance. As an electrical signal travels down a long copper wire, it loses energy.
So the longer the run, the worse the drop-off.
Exactly. That is why a long copper HDMI run leaves you with a glitchy, dropping image. But active optical cables bypass that physical limit entirely.
Oh, wait, really? How do they do that?
Well, there are these tiny transceivers in the ends of the cable. They actually take the electrical video signal and convert it into light pulses.
So instead of electrons fighting resistance, you are literally shooting photons down a fiber optic line.
Precisely. And photons, they don't suffer from that same electrical resistance.
Wow.
Yeah, because the data is traveling as light, the cable maintains absolute signal integrity over huge distances without dropping a single pixel or frame.
But, a 41-foot military-grade cable doesn't just exist in a vacuum. You don't need that kind of extreme distance or absolute bandwidth unless you are plugging it into something massive, right?
Which leads us straight to the heavy machinery in this HDTV Supply catalog.
Right, the Wolfpack modular matrix switchers. The specs on these units are just wild. They can route video to an unbelievable 160 TVs simultaneously.
Yeah, 160 displays is huge. When you scale up to that, the physical footprint of the room is enormous.
Oh, for sure.
So you need those long, flawless optical cable runs just to physically reach the screens from the central server rack.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, a 160 TV matrix is a serious piece of industrial hardware, taking multiple high-definition inputs and flawlessly distributing them to dozens of outputs in real time.
Well, looking at who actually buys a system that massive, it reveals a pretty bizarre split in this catalog.
Oh, it really does.
Yeah, the two primary consumers listed are massive sports bars and the U.S. government.
Right.
Now, I totally understand the sports bar application. They need a system where a bartender can grab a dedicated Wolfpad tablet and route different DirecTV feeds across a 64 TV video wall.
Yeah, that's standard.
But I have a hard time wrapping my head around the government side. The catalog lists specific government purchasing contracts, things like the NASA SUPI program and GSA schedules.
Yeah.
I highly doubt NASA's outfitting mission control to watch football on 160 screens.
Well, it is a funny mental image, I'll give you that. But to the hardware itself, there is literally zero difference between football and rocket telemetry.
Wait, really? It's the exact same thing to the switcher.
Exactly. Whether a federal agency is monitoring complex, multi-layered data feeds using picture-in-picture processors, or a bar is showing 80 different live games, the underlying demand is identical.
Oh, because it's all just massive amounts of visual data.
Right, visual data that needs to be moved without a single point of failure. Both environments require flawless, military-grade video distribution.
So both are mission critical in their own weird ways.
Right.
Like A dropped frame during a rocket launch is a disaster, obviously, but a dropped frame during the Super Bowl is also going to cause a total riot in that bar.
Yeah, a complete riot. And both require remote, seamless control over all that routing. The catalog notes they manage these systems via custom iOS, Android, or Windows 11 apps.
So the user interface might look different depending on whether you are managing sports channels or satellite feeds, but that underlying fiber optic backbone is identical.
You got it.
So the next time you are sitting in a modern sports bar taking in that massive wall of screens, you'll know to appreciate the Wolfpack Matrix switchers.
And all those miles of fiber optics silently doing the heavy lifting right over your head.
Exactly. It completely changes your perspective when you realize the sheer volume of data flowing through the walls around you.
It really does.
But I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder today. Buried deeper in that same catalog is a whole new category of 8K HDMI and SDI products.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 8K is a whole different beast.
Right, because jumping from 4K to 8K doesn't just double the data, it multiplies it exponentially.
It's a massive leap.
So, as we start rolling out that next generation of resolution, how long until even these advanced fiber optical cables become the bottleneck?
That is a great question.
Yeah, how long until they become the new marathon runner breathing through a straw for a 160 screen video